Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. First off, was editing, sorry. I always do that, I don't know why, it's kind of my thing now. Anyway, my name's Stone Ring Productions, and feel free to call me SRP if you'd like. And I've got two kind of wacky videos this week, and I actually really like this one a lot. And honestly, I've been having fun with this one. It's a little bit weird. Yes, it's Anakin. It's the Set 5 Anakin. It's the weird Anakin. And I tried to make a deck around him. And honestly, with the power of command, it's actually doing pretty decently. So here it is. Is it great? I'd say it can be good. It definitely can be. And the command really keeps it in the game for sure. The other cards with Anakin's ability are definitely very powerful. And so I want to just kind of jump in and explain everything here about what we're getting with this. So we're going to start off with what we normally start off with here, the leader and the base. But before we do that, just wanted to ask if you could please like and subscribe. Definitely appreciate it if you can. If not, I understand. It's not a problem. I'm a new content creator, so definitely helps out quite a bit if you can. Anyway, I don't want to guilt trip you guys. I really don't. If you want to do it, please feel free. If you don't, no problem. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so what are we getting with Anakin? And this is a weird one. I like weird leaders, but this one's been a little bit weird for me because it's been tough to figure it out. This has an action where we can use the Force, and we can play a villainy non-unit card from our hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. It's a little wild. I do like the stats on the back for 5 cost. It's pretty good, actually. Normally, a lot of 5 flip leaders just kind of miss the mark, but this one's not terrible. 4/6 for 5 is good, and it has the same ability, except you don't have to exhaust anything. You can just use your Force token. You can play a villainy non-unit card, which is pretty good. And we're pairing it up with the Jedi Temple because we need to generate the Force somehow. I was going to kind of troll everybody and make a Data Vault version, but I'm not going to do that. That would have just been stupid. Nobody would have watched. But yeah, anyway, Data Vault just is really dumb, and we need something to generate the Force. So Jedi Temple is here. And really, when I first made this deck, my thought process was, wow, command heroism is really just super powerful right now. And I kind of wondered how far I could push that. And this is actually not a bad deck. It really is not. We've got a lot of stuff that we can do with this, but let's go over everything. We're starting off right off the bat with something that can only be played off of Anakin's Force ability, and that's Force Lightning. And one of the reasons why I picked this one is not only is it a good card, but we've got a lot of Force units, so it just makes a lot of sense. It's a 1 cost, and aggression and villainy. Choose a unit. It loses all abilities, for this phase. Then if you control a Force unit, which we usually should, pay any number of resources and deal 2 damage to the chosen unit for each resource paid in this way. Anakin with Force Lightning, that would have been so cool to see that. But we never got it in the movie, so hearsay. Anyway, I've liked the card. I think it's really cool. Nice removal. Now into the regular stuff here. We get 3 copies of Gungi. I just like the stats on this guy. I was going to put the lightsaber in here, but I kind of wanted to leave a little bit more room for the villainy cards. And so if you wanted to trim some stuff and put the General's Blade in here, by all means, feel free to do so. But I wanted to try to just get low to the ground, get the villainy stuff in there, get our Force token and use our stuff on it. Gungi, like I said, 2 cost, 2/5, no abilities. It's got the Force and Jedi, so good enough. Jedi Consular can potentially let us cheat and play something a little bit bigger. And our opponents usually will end up respecting us quite a bit. but it's a 2-cost 1/4. It has an action, use the Force, and then we can play a unit from our hand, and it costs 2 less. So, yeah, as I was saying, we can kind of cheat stuff into play with the Jedi Consular. If we do have a way to attack first, then we can use the Consular, use the Force, and make something cost 2 less. It's pretty nice. I don't personally care for it a ton because you really don't get this online until the 3rd turn of the game for the most part, because if you think about this, we're going to play the Consular, then we need to get the Force, so we've got to attack with something. Let's say it's the Consular itself. Then we get the Force, then we can use the Consular. This is kind of a little bit slow to get going. Sometimes the sweet spot's usually around turn 4 or 5. We can get something really big into play. And that's kind of where I like him. But I don't think it's really necessary to load up on all 3 of them right off the bat. I do like the Luke Skywalker in here as 3 of. It can pilot stuff. There's not a lot of space in here, but there's a little bit, so we can pilot with him. I liked him just as a 2-cost 3/2 on the ground. We can, like I said, we can also pilot him, but it's a 2-cost 3/2 on the ground with the Force trait. So that's primarily why we're playing him. We do have a small package of officials as well, too. Mina Bonteri is just a really good official, and I wanted to throw her in here as well, too. She's a 2-cost 2/4 with Restore 1, and when defeated, we can disclose Command Heroism. It's another reason why we want to try to stay up on our primary colors. And if we do, when she's defeated, we get to draw a card. So it's just great, great all around. Gets Restore. It's a little bit of healing, not a ton in here. We'll go over a little bit more later. Now, I put Force Choke in here for one of the cards that Anakin can use. And I'm just thinking thematically, all the cool stuff that we wish that we would have seen Anakin do a little bit more, like when he's fighting Obi-Wan, just Force Choke him. That would have been so awesome. And then shoot him with some lightning. Sorry, I'm just kind of geeking out. But one of the other reasons why I like this card, other than being pretty good removal, is that we can take advantage of its other line of text in here, and that is, well, it's a 2-cost aggression villainy. So if we were to play this normally, it would cost us 6. If you control a Force unit, this event costs 1 less to play. That does still count with his activated ability as well, too. But it's 5 damage to a non-vehicle unit, and they get to draw a card. It lets you play the card, the villainy card, from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties, but you can also reduce the cost of this if we've got a Force unit, so we can get it down to 1. So it's pretty nice. It's good removal. It's one of the things that I think that not really that Command Heroism needs anything else, but it's, you know, we've got 2 good removals off of Anakin's ability, so we're trying that out. Speaking of that, I've got 2 copies of his buddy Chancellor Palpatine in here. And, yep, it's always going to be off aspect. It's going to always cost 5. But here's the trick. Anakin is 5 to deploy anyway. If we want to, we can deploy Palpatine on 5 when we deploy Anakin. Then we get, not only do we get our Anakin, but we're going to get the Palpatine. We're going to get 2 spy tokens, and those spy tokens will get Sentinel. Even out of aspect, Chancellor Palpatine is just really good. And it's a good way to kind of clog up the ground. So I figured, you know, they kind of cohort with each other anyway in the movies. Why not have them hang out here anyway? But in all seriousness, it does work pretty good. It's a nice way to clog up the ground. And again, minor official synergy. He's an official. He makes 2 officials. Cobb Vanth, Mina Bonteri. And this is what we're talking about down here, but we'll get to her when we get to her. Cobb Vanth. I think we have just the right amount of 2-cost units. Nothing in particular really stands out, but it's a 3-cost 3/2. It's an official, and when it's defeated, we get to search the top 10 cards of our deck for a unit that costs 2 or less, and then we can discard it. For this phase, you may play that card from your discard pile for free. So you want to make sure that you don't pass if you've got Cobb Vanth most of the time, unless your opponent's completely exhausted with all their stuff, because if they kill the Cop Vanth, and we won't be able to play that unit for free anymore. It's just gone. So just be careful when you're playing him. It's not a huge thing that comes up a ton. Just be aware of it, that's all. So Obi-Wan, another Force unit. Keeping track of our Force. 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th unit here so far with Force Jedi. This one is so annoying, and I absolutely love this card. 3 cost, 3, 5. Force Jedi Republic. When you play a Force unit, including this one, it gains Sentinel. And we've got plenty of Force units, so this gains Sentinel quite often. And it's just an annoying card to deal with for our opponent. 3 copies of Resupply. We're pretty resource heavy, so we want to make sure that we're able to ramp a little bit if we can. It does help. We've got some other ramp in here as well. We'll go for that in a minute, though, when we get to it. I've got 2 copies of Bright Hope, just in the event that we run into some kind of a space aggro. Bright Hope is so annoying to deal with in space, just because space aggro decks are just not going to be happy to see this card. We also get to return something to our hand, so if our Obi-Wan is starting to take a beating, or the next card is starting to take a beating, we can just return it to our hand and replay it again later if we need to. But speaking of that next card, we've got 3 copies of Captain Typho, 4 cost, 4/5 with Sentinel. This one's not Force or official at all, but it does have the ability where when this unit is attacked, we can disclose Command Heroism. If we do, we get to heal damage from our base. Nothing wrong with being able to heal damage and absorb an attack, and a 4 cost 4/5 is pretty great also. We've got 3 copies of Queen Amidala because this card is just so good. This is one of our big official payoffs, and we've been discussing the official ties as well too, but it's 5 cost 5/3. When played, we get to create 2 spies, which are also officials. If damage would be dealt to this unit, you may defeat another friendly unit that shares a trait with this unit. If you do, prevent that damage. I don't know how many other Naboo units there are, but official, there's quite a bit, and we've got a pretty good amount. Not a ton, but we've got a good amount, so we can trigger our ability quite a bit. Another card that we can play with Anakin's ability, and one of the nice things that, like I said, this doesn't really have a lot of removal, and so No Glory Only Results is a really nice card in this list, and I've been very happy with it so far. At 5 cost, we get to take control of a non-leader unit, then defeat it, and this comes in very handy a lot of times. So I've been pretty happy with it. But the next card is really the all-star. Playing the Overwhelming Barrage is just ridiculously good in this deck, and yeah, it's completely worth it. 5 cost, give a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase. Then it deals damage equal to its power divided as you choose among any number of other units. I guess worst case scenario, we could play this out of aspect as well too at 7, but with Anakin's ability, we're going to be able to play it for 5. Honestly, I still think at 7 it's still good for the effect that it does. It's not terrible at 7, I suppose, but I would pay it depending on the scenario. If it's going to win me the game, of course, 2 copies of Resupply Carrier. It's a 6 cost 4/5. When played, we can put the top card of our deck into play as a resource. Just another way to get ahead on resources when possible. I've got a copy of Clone, and I know somebody else brought this up in one of my deck lists before. In the list itself, they left a comment, why am I playing the Clone unit? And the Clone unit pairs with Yoda, and a lot of these more intense resource-hungry decks, I like to put a copy of Clone in with Yoda, because Clone and Yoda is just so good together. It's just really, really, really effectively good. And we don't even have a lot of ways of using the Force token other than Anakin himself, but the primary reason if I've got a Yoda, I'm probably going to put at least one copy of clone in there. So this is the gist. I'll just cover them both at the same time now. Yoda is an 8 cost, 5/9, and when played, we can use the Force. If we do, we get to heal 5 damage from a base. Spoiler, don't choose your opponent's base. We want to pick our own. But anyway, when you use the Force, you may deal damage to a unit equal to twice the number of units you control. So if we've got a clone, which is a 7 cost 0/0, but it comes into play as a copy of a non-leader, non-vehicle unit in play, except it gains the clone trait and is not unique. So we get a non-unique copy of Yoda. So we've got Yoda in play, we've cloned him. So now the clone enters play. You can use the Force to heal 5 damage from our base. Let's say that we do that. Then both of the Yodas see that the Force was used, and then you can deal damage to a unit with the Yoda and with the clone. It's just bonkers, and you will clear the board very quickly if those are not taken care of fast. It's just really, really, really good. Does it happen often? No, not particularly, but when it does happen, it's just really good. It's really sensationally good. So those are the 2 cards in one there. Keller and Beck is just phenomenal late game. 7 cost, 7/7. This is a Force Jedi, as is Yoda and Republic as well. When played, we get to search the top 7 cards of our deck for a unit, reveal it, and play it. It costs 3 less to play. You can get something that costs more and pay the difference if you've got the resources to do that. But great card. It's a great catch-up mechanic, too, for things like Super Laser Blast, which you could put in the sideboard here. I didn't really make a sideboard. I just wanted to get something to put out for everybody. Then we've got our last card we're going to review is Home 1. 8 cost, 7/7 with Restore 2. There's not a lot of healing in here, but this can work in a pinch as well. Each other friendly unit gains Restore 1, and when played, we get to play a Heroism unit from our discard pile. It costs 3 less. So it's another good way to just get 2 things into play. I really like Keller and Beck putting Queen Amidala into play just because this is so many units. Or if we've got our Anakin deployed, you can Keller and Beck and go get Palpatine, which creates the 2 tokens, and then those tokens gain Sentinel. It's pretty cool. It's a fun list, and it's definitely better than it looks, for sure. So I say give it a try. If you don't like it, sorry. But it's fun. Honestly, I really have been having a lot of fun with it. And I hope that you do enjoy it if you do try it. Yeah, but that's the deck. I know it's a little silly, but just wanted to put a little something silly out there this week. Sincerely, guys, thanks very much for the support in 2025. It means a lot to me. I'm not really planning on doing this as like a full-time job or anything. I'm just doing it because I like to do it. The support definitely helps out quite a bit. And just encouragement, really. But just wanted to say thanks to everybody that's left positive feedback and nice comments and stuff like that. So just thanks again for all that. May the Force be with you, my friends. And I hope you're well. Take care.